Om Namo Narayana, welcome back. Today we are reading the Hymn to Kali by Mahakala. So this translation that I have is from 1922. So this hymn predates it. Don't know when, but I'll Google some information after I'm done recording and putting it down below. I come at all this reading that I do fresh, like a student who's sitting at the feet of the guru, and suddenly the guru says, "Students, today I want to share with you the Hymn to Kali." Well, the students don't go off to Wikipedia or the library or wherever and start researching this hymn and dissecting it and then come back and listen to it. No, they just going, oh, well, what is this? And they hear it for the first time and they know nothing. You don't read a book and research the book thoroughly and get all the characters and the plots and the cliff notes and then read it. You just read it hoping it's a great adventure. So often when we hit these religious texts, we have a tendency to study them beforehand. Oh, well, if you're going to learn the Hymn to Kali, you should learn all about this and all about this and all about this and cross-reference this bit with this bit. But that's really not how these things were first put out there in the world. And I don't think you should do that. I think you should read them, digest them, and then, like a novel, then you go on Wikipedia and you research something, or then you look up all the metaphors used in Moby Dick or something. You go after the fact. I think, though, sometimes we research these things to avoid reading them in the first place. I really do. Because if you feel like you've researched something, well, I don't have to read it, right? Because isn't that what Cliff Notes are for, to avoid reading things? Do they even have Cliff Notes anymore? When I was young, that was a big thing. That was always being banned by my teachers. I don't know if they still have them, I've just shown my age. Anyways, this channel is all about reading stuff for the first time. I'm not here to educate you in the history of some hymn. I'm here to read this hymn, or whatever scripture it is that I've found. And I've not read this before, though I did kind of just glance over it. So, that's my introduction. I've said enough. Let's just dive right into this Hymn to Kali. O Mother and Spouse of the Destroyer of the Three Cities, they who thrice recite thy bija, formed by omitting from Karpura the middle and last consonants and the vowels, but adding vamaksi and bindu, the speech of such, whether in poetry and prose, like that of men who have attained all powers, issues of a surety with all ease from the hollow of their mouth. O thou art beauteous with beauty of a dark rain cloud. O Maheshi, even should one of poor mind at any time recite but once another doubled bija of thine, composed of Isana and Vamasharavana and Bindu, then, O thou who hast great and formidable earrings of arrow form, who bearest on thy head the crescent moon, such of one becomes all-powerful, having conquered even the Lord of Speech, and the wealth-giver, and charmed countless young women with lotus-like eyes. O Kalika, O auspicious Kalika with disheveled hair, from the corners whose mouth 2 streams of blood trickle, thy who recite another double bija of thine, composed of Isha, Vaishvanara, Vamanatatra, and the lustrous Bindu, destroy all their enemies, and bring under their subjection the 3 worlds. O destructress of the sins of the 3 worlds, auspicious Kalika, who in thy upper lotus-like left hand holdest a sword, and in the lower left hand a severed head, who with thy upper right hand maketh the gesture which dispels fear, and with thy lower right hand that which grants boons, they, O Mother with gaping mouth, who, reciting thy name, meditate in this way upon the greatness of thy mantra, possess the 8 great powers of the 3-eyed one in the palm of their hands. O Mother, they who recite thy charming bija, composed of the first group of the letters, followed by Vani, Rati, and the beautified by Vindu, thrice, the Kurtsa bija, twice, and thereafter, O smiling face, the Laja bija twice, followed by the 2 Tats. They, O spouse of the destroyer of the Deva of desire, contemplating thy true form, become themselves the Deva of love, whose eyes are as beautiful as the petals of the lotus which Lakshmi holds in her playful dance. O Devi of full breasts, whose throat is adorned with a garland of heads, thou who meditating recite any one or two or three of thy very secret and excelling bijas, or all thereof together with thy name, in the moon-like face of all Saksh the Devi of speech ever wanders, and in their lotus-like eyes Kamala ever plays. O Mother, even a dullard becomes a poet who meditates upon thy raiment with space, three-eyed creatrix of the three worlds, whose waist is beautiful with a girdle made of numbers of dead men's arms, and who on the breasts of a corpse, as thy couch in the cremation ground, enjoys Mahakalika. Those who meditate on thee, the spouse of Hera, who is seated in the cremation ground, strewn with funeral pyres, corpses, skulls, and bones, and haunted by female jackals, howling fearfully, who is very youthful, and in full enjoyment upon thy spouse, are revered by all, and in all places. What indeed, O Mother, can we of so dull a mind say of thee whose true being not even Data, or Isha, or Hari know? Yet, despite our dullness and ignorance, our devotion towards thee makes us talk of thee. Therefore, O dark Devi, forgive this our folly. Anger towards ignorant creatures such as we is not befitting thee. If by night thy devotee, unclothed with disheveled hair, recites while meditating upon thee thy mantra, when with his Shakti youthful, full-breasted, and heavy-hipped, such as the one makes all powers subject to him, and dwells on the earth, ever a seer. O spouse of Hara, should a sadhaka daily recite thy mantra for the space of a year, meditating with the knowledge of its meaning upon thee, intent upon union with the great Mahakala, above whom thou art, then such a knower has every pleasure that he wills upon the earth, and holds all great powers in the grasp of his lotus-like hands. O Mother, thou givest birth to and protectest the world, and at the time of dissolution you withdraw to thyself the earth and all things. Therefore thou art Brahma, and the Lord of the three worlds, the spouse of Shri and Mahesha, and all other beings and things. O me, how then shall I praise your greatness? O Mother, there are people who worship many other devas than yourself. They are greatly ignorant, and know nothing of the high truth, but I, of my own uncontrollable desire for thee, approach thee, the primordial power, who dost deeply enjoy the great bliss arising from union with Shiva, and who is worshipped by Hari, Hara, Vrichi, and all other devas. O Kali, spouse of Girisha, thou art earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Thou art all. Thou art one and beneficent. What can be said in praise of thee, O Mother? Of thy mercy, show thy favor towards me, helpless as I am. By thy grace may I never be reborn. He, O Mahakali, who in the cremation ground, naked and with disheveled hair, intently meditates upon thee and recites thy mantra, and with each recitation makes offerings to thee of 1,000 akanda flowers with seed, becomes without any effort a lord of the earth. O Kali, whoever on Tuesday at midnight, having uttered thy mantra, makes offering even but once with devotion to thee of a hair of his Shakti in the creation ground, becomes a great poet, a lord of the earth, and ever goes mounted upon an elephant. The devotee who, having placed before himself and meditated again and again meditated upon the abode, strewn with flowers of the Deva, with the bow of flowers, and recites thy mantra, he becomes on earth the lord of Gandhavaras, and the ocean of the nectar of the flow of poesy, and is after death in thy supreme abode. He who at night, when in union with his Shakti, meditates with centered mind on thee, O Mother, with gently smiling face, as on the breast of the corpse-like Shiva, lying on a 15-angled yantra, deeply enlisted in sweet amorous play with Mahakala, himself becomes destroyer of the god of love. O Dark One, wondrous and excelling in every way, becomes the accomplishment of those worshippers who, living in this world, freely make offerings to thee in worship of the greatly satisfying flesh, together with hair and bone, of cats, camels, sheep, buffaloes, goats, and men. O Mother, he who, being a controller of his passions, eats havishyanam, and being proficient in meditation on thy feet, rightly recites thy mantra 100,000 times by day, and he who afterwards, naked at night when united with his Shakti, rightly recites thy great mantra another such 100,000 times, becomes on earth like unto the destroyer of Samara. O Mother, this hymn of thine is the source from whence originates thy mantra. It sings of thy real self and contains injunctions for the worship of thy lotus feet. He who reads it at midnight or a time of worship, even his random talk becomes the nectar juice of poesy. Numbers of women with large eyes, like those of the antelope, impatient for his love, ever follow him. Even the king becomes subject to his control. He becomes like Kuvera himself. An enemy fears him as if he were a prison, living in continuous bliss. The devotee is liberated when yet living, and is never again reborn. To Kali, a spouse of Kala, who destroys all sin, and is Kala. She who is Tara, the savior, the supreme Brahma Vidya, who is adored by the lotus-born Deva. She who is Sri Vidya, desirous of the welfare of sadhakas on the path of liberation, to whom Hari and Hara make obeisance. May that Devi, the mother, who appears in the form of all things, bring forth benefits for all such as sing her praises. Thus ends the hymn to Kali. That felt to me more like an Upanishad than a hymn. It was very instructive, telling you what to do to worship Kali and to honor her. Previous to this hymn, there is a prayer at the feet of Kali, written by a Swami. The two I found together. That video comes right before this one on this channel, but check that out too. Other than that, I'm just going to open the floor to you. If you have anything you want to say down below, please do. Comment, like, subscribe, whatever. And if you worship Kali, please share below your experience, your love, your passion. I would be most welcome. And it is no secret on this channel that I am a follower of Krishna. You will actually see what I'm wearing. This show actually says, here it is, Hare Krishna mantra. I've never made that a secret. That is who I know the best. That is the incarnation of God. And I know, but I love reading about these other things, and it's all painting this big picture. So if you have experienced Kali firsthand, Devi, Durga, or whatever, please share that. Share the love that you have down below. So that being said, thank you for watching. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.